My friends, the fact that we are on the cusp of an election means that at this point we are going to be seeing both parties busting out pretty much anything they can, absolutely anything they can, to maximize their chances of winning. But what I mean by that is that the Democrats will do absolutely fucking nothing, because Democrats suck shit at politics. They're all useless career bureaucrats who have no concern for whether or not they vote and are perfectly happy taking the kickbacks from whatever benefits there are to just being an establishment president until they die at 93 after holding their respective district hostage for 30 years. But Republicans, they are fierce, and they will do any... Republicans will just make shit up. It's incredible what Republicans will do. Like this Hunter Biden crap, you know? Again, like the Hunter Biden stuff. Is there any evidence that there was millions and millions of terabytes of child pornography on that laptop? No! There was no evidence. Thank you. Is there any evidence that that Joe Biden was personally involved in the nefarious... Hunter Biden schemes of benefiting off his family name? No! There was one man who claimed that he could prove it, and he has yet to prove it. So that's how evidence works. We wait for it, and then we we wait for it. The evidence has to exist for us to care about it, not merely be presented. But what if they have something else? What if they have something else? I saw Hunter got a foot job on Twitter. Why would they release that video, by the way? Why would they? First of all, that is revenge porn. The Hunter Biden foot job video, if you're probably not best to look at it. But again, why would they release that? Dude's got a big cock. Why would they do that? Why? This is only good for the... Can you imagine if they're like, we have Joe Biden's sex tape from 1982, and he's got like a foot-long cock, and he's fucking like his wife, the maid, the babysitter, and like the mail woman, and he's just like fucking, he's doing like the, you know when they do like the revolver where they like rotate cylinders, you know what I mean, like that. He's pumping it in and out, like rotating. Like, why would you release that if you have that? Like, that's only good for him, you know. That only helps him. You understand. You sex havers, those of you who have had sex 1 know what I'm talking about. Those of you who are waiting on sex 2 maybe don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, getting back to it. From the man himself, Tucker Carlson, damning Hunter Biden documents suddenly vanish.
There's always a lot going on that we don't have time to get to on the air, but there's something specific going on behind the scenes right now that we did feel we should tell you about. So on Monday of this week, we received from a source a collection of confidential documents related to the Biden family.
Ooh.
We believe those documents are authentic, they're real, and they're damning. At the time we received them, my executive producer, Justin Wells, and I were in Los Angeles preparing to interview Tony Bobolinsky about the Biden's business dealings in China, Ukraine, and other countries. So we texted a producer in New York, and we asked him to send those documents to us in LA, and he did that. So Monday afternoon of this week, he shipped those documents overnight to California with a large national carrier, a brand name company that we've used, you've used countless times with never a single problem. But the Biden documents never arrived in Los Angeles. Tuesday morning, we received word from the shipping company that our package had been opened and the contents were missing. The documents had disappeared. Now, to its credit, the company took this very seriously and immediately began a search. They traced the envelope from the moment our producers dropped it off in Manhattan on Monday all the way to 3:44 a.m. yesterday morning. That's when an employee at a sorting facility in another state noticed that our package was open and empty. Apparently, it had been opened. So the company's security team interviewed every one of its employees who touched the envelope we sent. They searched the plane and the trucks that carried it. They went through the office in New York where our producer dropped that package off. They combed the entire cavernous sorting facility. They used pictures of what we had sent so that searchers would know what to look for. They went far and beyond, but they found nothing. Those documents have vanished. As of tonight, the company has no idea and no working theory even about what happened to this trove of materials, documents that are directly relevant to the presidential campaign just 6 days from now. We spoke to executives at that company a few hours ago. They seemed baffled and deeply bothered by this.
So, I'm not kidding. His assertion is that some sort of deep state agent read his text messages and then intercepted the package to obtain the documents that had damning evidence on Joe Biden. By the way, get to that link there. By the way, it was unclear initially whether or not Tucker Carlson was alleging that this was the only possible, whether this was the only copy that he had of these documents. Because the natural response, like the immediate response is like, what, did you not make a backup? Did you not make a copy? Did you not do anything? This reads like a fucking Onion article. He actually is alleging that he is the victim of a conspiracy to steal that information. I'm not joking. But apparently, the package has now been found. Hello. The UPS said it found the set of documents Tucker Carlson said had vanished in transit and would be damaging to Joe Biden and his family. Carlson told viewers the documents had disappeared but did not name the courier transporting them. UPS then confirmed it was the carrier. It has since told Business Insider that it found the documents after an extensive search. So, they've been found. Apparently, the box that contained them was open, and Tucker Carlson has said that he does have copies of all this. So, let's go over this one more time. One more time, okay? One more time. And you can arrive at whatever conclusions you want. Tucker Carlson created copies of documents he claimed would be damaging to Joe Biden, but then physically mailed them, and those in the mail briefly disappeared before being found. He did not initially say he had other copies of these documents, but he then later confirmed that he did, and he used this as an argument to indicate that somebody had intercepted his text messages in order to track the package and find it. Now, first of all, just to be perfectly clear here, texting somebody, I'm sending you X, if intercepted, does not give that person the information necessary to actually intercept that package. So here, there are certain tiers of political and informational confidentiality available here. If a entity is capable of spying on your text messages, it doesn't need those text messages to intercept your packages. And if it's trying to intercept your packages, why the fuck would it ever just open your package, take out the documents, and then later have the documents available somewhere to be returned? And if they were doing that, why the fuck would the deep state not just take the entire package as opposed to just its contents? Because it's way more suspicious for the package to be opened and its contents to be removed and then later found than it would be for the package to simply disappear. Packages disappear all the time under UPS or FedEx or whatever. That's just a part of the system. We're talking about millions and millions of packages. They just disappear. So why would it be interfered with in a way that is so suspicious, in a way that doesn't actually indicate interference from any sort of nebulous deep state, but which she implied so anyway, using information that he claims would indicate he's being spied on when anybody with the information necessary to spy on him would also just be able to intercept the package on its own? I don't know if this is the case, but I have a feeling that this is being drummed up for drama. My personal opinion. I have a feeling that Tucker Carlson is complicit in trying to manufacture some sort of conspiratorial paranoia about the deep state trying to yoink info in order to protect Joe Biden, but then the deep state is simultaneously so incompetent that it allows those documents to be found again. Like, just to be clear, if there really is a deep state, like, I should say, by the way, I need to clarify with this, okay? Because as a socialist, I recognize that there is an established collection of corporate and political interests that do not serve the will of the people, okay? But it's not like a nefarious conspiracy thing. This is just class consciousness. This isn't like some deep conspiracy thing. Yeah, of course. Politicians and wealthy people do shit for each other. They get along and they do favors for one another. This is how the country has worked for hundreds of years. This is a component of bureaucracy under capitalism. Frankly, it's a component of bureaucracy even under non-capitalism. Bureaucratic governments just tend to procure this type of top-down structure. Now, that doesn't mean there's nothing that can be done about it. There certainly fucking is. But when I say the deep state is silly, what I'm trying to counter is this incredibly and deliberately vague conspiratorial narrative. Remember, this is the whole right-wing and left-wing populism are not necessarily the same, even if we agree on problems thing. Because me and Tucker Carlson would both agree that there are a group of elites at the top of this country whose interests don't represent those of the people. And I would then go on to list people like Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, their fucking thousands of corporate sponsors, the lobbying groups that tell them what to believe in. But Tucker Carlson would back up and go, no. Because obviously that would, that would implicate the people who write his checks. Funny quote from Tucker Carlson, by the way, ye back in the day. I wish I could find, oh man, wait, hold on. Is there a, I thought I had this available on my document. This is one of the reasons why I love that Tucker Carlson has ended up being like the head of like the anti-establishment populist right, because he's literally a trust fund kid who nonstop simps for billionaires. It's very, very, very funny. And do we have it here? Oh, here we go. I love this. I always vote for the more corrupt candidate over the idealist, always. The person who will just be happy taking payoffs from developers and leaving me alone. This is like a meaningful decision in my life. Every 4 years, there's some guy who's like, I'm going to make your life better. I vote against that guy every single time. You know what I mean? It's usually some progressive candidate who's got big plans for me, and so I just vote for the status quo corrupt criminal operation that runs the city, and I'm really happy with that. Like, this guy is literally evil. Like, this guy is actually objectively just a wealthy trust fund kid who's it's satire. Who's intentionally and deliberately opposed to the concept of challenging the establishment. He is the deep state. He's a fucking anime villain. So I love it when he does this stuff, But whatever the case may be, this is some conspiracy bullshit, okay? Now here's what we need to look for, and this is what I'm really interested in, okay? What do you think the likelihood is that Tucker Carlson has been incentivized by his masters, his owners, to procure more bullshit evidence that Biden is secretly an Epstein evil, whatever. And the information he was provided wasn't as much of a slam dunk as he thought it was going to be. So he thinks, okay. Maybe the information's not good. Fine. But it's all about the delivery, isn't it? So even if the info ends up being bunk, nothing interesting actually comes out of Tucker Carlson's show, we can still sell this conspiratorial deep state, they stole my info, but then conveniently returned it to me bullshit narrative. That's what I'm looking to see. Is the story going to be the contents of the document, or is it going to be the fucking delivery truck that brought it in? That's what I want to see.